Have you not kept up with Midjourney? That's okay, my name is Nolan, I'm your resident Midjourney expert. I've made over 100,000 images, timestamps are below if you want to click around, but here is every way Midjourney has changed in the last year or so. I'm sure you know about the video feature, right? You can animate any of your pictures super easily, 5 seconds at a time. One thing you may not know is a batch size option in your settings. This could come in handy because Midjourney video can get kind of expensive to generate. Okay, let's get to images. Are you aware of how fast they get generated now? It's super fun to use. If you want to go even faster, you can try this thing called draft mode. You can click this lightning bolt icon in the top right to initiate it. It is going to use a lower resolution to make your images even faster, but the real crazy part about draft mode is that it actually creates 24 images for every prompt you write. Isn't that wild? Big grids have finally made their way to Midjourney. And then the most recent update allows you to type --sref random in draft mode to see 24 different styles for less than the price of one regular generation. And I just mentioned how draft mode taps into a lower resolution. That implies there are higher resolutions. You can generate in standard definition, which is basically what we've been using for the past few years, but in version 8 there is an HD mode. I love HD. Higher resolution, crispy pictures, no real need for an upscaler, which is why V8 doesn't have one. Another thing you probably don't know about is conversation mode. You can find it up here in the top right. It is kind of hard to explain. It's a bot that you can talk to, but it can't really talk back. It just writes a prompt for you based on what you asked for. You can even speak to it with your microphone. You don't have to type your prompt. Like, you can use natural language to be like, oh yeah, I want to see a dog celebrating its birthday, but I want it to look surreal and colorful. The bot is going to take that idea and write a prompt for you. And then you can iterate by being like, oh no, okay, get rid of the color, that's too much color. And it will write a new prompt according to your instructions. I really don't see that many people using this feature, but I've had a few people in my community defend it, so perhaps it can be fun once in a while. If you want to come talk Midjourney and AI with us, there is a free 7-day trial. The link will be in the description below. Okay, here is something I definitely don't think a lot of people know about. They revamped the search feature last summer and it's pretty powerful. You can search for specific days, you can search for every time you used a specific parameter. Like, you can get really granular as opposed to just using keywords like we could before. Speaking of search, let's go to the Explore page and take a look at the Style Explorer. Rather than images or videos, you can see the most popular style codes. But I mentioned search because the top right search bar works differently on the Explore page. You can type any sort of style, like cinematic, and find a bunch of style codes that will trigger those aesthetics. And if you don't want to spend the time searching, you can fast forward by using one of my Midjourney profile packs. There are 6 available now, one based around raw cinematic looks, one for more stylized cinematics. There's one filled with illustrations, one for anime, one for manga, and then one for some of the most wild styles I've ever come across. If you pick up one of these packs, eventually you'll have access to all the codes inside of this Chrome extension I built. It's a super easy way to copy and paste. I can't wait for you all to use this. I don't know when it's going to be available, but hopefully sometime soon. So let's take one of my codes and let's try it in draft mode. But then check this out, there is also a new parameter we can use, --preview. This preview feature gives us early access to an upcoming unreleased Midjourney model. Of course, it's subject to change, but for now, it's okay to assume that we would be tapping into 8.2, and the results are a lot of fun to look at. So, mood boards, like the code I just showed you, run through the personalization system. You can make mood boards that are ultra specific, but that system also lets you create an extremely unique style based around your preferences. How does the bot know what your preferences are? We have to teach it. And previously we taught it through selecting our favorite image out of a pair. Now it works through this grid of images. You scroll through the pictures and select which ones you like. It's pretty simple, but if you do this enough times, Midjourney learns what you want to see. It's not an exact science, and perhaps mood boards are an easier way to fixate on a specific aesthetic, but selecting through this grid will create a style that is absolutely unique to you. And I think that's worth exploring and finding out. And then just a quick heads up, Midjourney actually has a second website where they test some of these features before giving them to everyone else. You can find it at alpha.midjourney.com. I know some people only use the alpha website. It's a cool place to see what they're working on. Maybe you'll want to check it out. Okay, let's move on to some organizational workflows, because if you're having fun and making a lot of images, you gotta know how to make things easier for yourself. The absolute fundamental, foundational, basic necessity. Whenever you see an image that you like, hover over it and click the heart icon in the top right. You gotta do this. And just to let you know, the heart icon won't appear in the big grids, but you can still right click and then find the like button there. Anyways, I want you to be doing this because on the organize page, you can filter by your liked images. Click the filter and then boom. Easily download all the images you thought were worth saving. And all of that was the basic workflow, but if you want to get a little more advanced, you should start using folders. Maybe you want to start with a folder group, and then you can create subfolders if you want to niche down even more. Like I have a folder for my videos and then subfolders for all of these here, like funny results or generations that actually turned out really good. Generating inside of a folder combined with liking the best pictures is probably the best way of staying organized, especially if you're working on a project that you need to come back to over the course of time. And if you are creating projects in Midjourney, you gotta try this app I built. It's called Color Pilot, and one of the best features is that you can select one of your images as an anchor and have all your other images adjust their colors to look more like it. Like, take a look at this. These three images have the same style, but the color is a little off. So I can select this one here as the anchor. I can attach a thread to these images here, and look how these pictures transform. They now look more like this one. Isn't that awesome? It's super powerful. Every Midjourney user should be doing this. It really is the perfect way to make a project feel whole. The app is free to use. You can get a pro account if you like it and want some better workflows. You can find it at colorpilot.app. Go check it out. Alright, let's jump to a pretty random feature. There is now like a public profile gallery thing that you can set up for yourself. Like, you can spotlight your favorite images and then share the link to your page with other people and they can see what you've made. It's kind of cool. I haven't used this since it came out, but kind of cool. Okay, it feels like a good time to talk about the Style Creator. This is a feature that I wish had a slightly different name, but it's not completely inaccurate. Let me just say there are two ways of triggering it. You can start in the Style Creator tab. Write a prompt, it will generate, and it will show you the default results alongside a giant scrolling grid of images. From here, all you need to do is scroll and pick your favorite pictures. The bot will now try to apply your choices on top of what was already created. This is definitely not an exact science at all, but it can still be pretty cool because by the end of it, you will be creating a style that nobody else has. A super quick advanced tip, the first style that you pick is going to have the biggest influence, so choose carefully or don't and just have fun. The other way of using this creator is through one of your existing generations. Like on the create page, if you hover over your prompt, you'll see the style creator option. And this brings you into that same process except it builds on those images you already have. I also just want to remind you that NIJI exists. This is an anime-focused algorithm. It works with all the style codes from the regular Midjourney. It works with your mood board codes. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't tried it lately. And then let's get to a fairly hidden parameter that you may not know about. Because it's not available in your settings, you have to know what the trigger is. --exp. It stands for experimental. Nobody really knows what it does, but it does something. It has a value range between 0 and 100, with 0 being the default. It's off for everyone unless you trigger it specifically. If you want to try it, aim for somewhere around exp 15, something like that, but go ahead and have fun. And if you want to know the best ways to prompt in version 8, I have the perfect video for you right now. I hope you're doing well, take care, and I'll see you next time. Peace.